Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to another segment of VTF Live. We are very happy to present this week's recap and as well as insightful thoughts from Victor Manga. So, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and begin.
Good morning, everyone.
All right. So now we like to introduce you to Karthik. Karthik is in our VTF live today, as well as Victor Manga. So say hello to everyone.
Thank you, Melody. Hello, everyone.
All right, perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with about us. We are Virtually Testing Foundation. We are a nonprofit organization that is volunteer run, and we are very unique about it. We don't sell products, service, nor data, but we are proud to serve the cybersecurity community, and not just the cybersecurity, but all aspects of leadership and management as well. Our mission is to offer beginner and advanced internship that will provide benefits to the community as well as to yourselves. So we want to, provide great gifts of experience, hands-on learning, as well as provide you with the fundamentals of cybersecurity skills in that beginner track and advanced track. Grow those skills by continuing on, and put into practice what you have learned in the beginner track. Our vision is to invest in and all resources that will provide quality learning experience, and that includes our partners that have partnered with us in this in our mission to provide internships and skills and technologies as well. Virtually Testing Foundation is, as I mentioned, is very unique. It's volunteer-run nonprofit organization, and we offer hands-on training on cybersecurity by providing internship and a lot more. And as you can see, we have over 30,000 plus members in our organization, which we are very proud of. And we hope that you can be a part of it as well, just like we are in this journey with Virtually Testing Foundation. Okay, let's go ahead and recap with weeks 1 and 2. So, Karthik, take it away.
Thank you, Melody. So, hello, everyone. Now, let me introduce myself. My name is Karthikeyan Ramaswamy. I am the manager of technology and development at Virtually Testing Foundation. So, let us quickly review what the VTF beginner track interns have learned in week one. As you are aware, interns are assigned three tasks each week: cybersecurity, business etiquette, and network visibility. For cybersecurity tasks, interns learn about the MITRE ATT&CK framework and how it works in week one, as well as about MITRE Defend and Navigator. MITRE employs a variety of tactics and techniques designed for threat hunters, defenders, and red teams to assist them in classifying attacks and identifying security gaps within an organization. When it comes to business etiquette, they learned about APA format and its significance. The APA format clarifies papers on frequent complex topics. It makes documents easier to read and comprehend. Furthermore, if you intend to publish your work, APA citation makes it simple for your readers to cross reference your sources. Now, coming to the network's visibility task for week one, nowadays hiring process is mainly conducted through LinkedIn. Therefore, a candidate should have a good profile as well as a good networking and connection in LinkedIn. Now let's move to week two. For week two cybersecurity task, interns were given access to Splunk training, which is what is Splunk course. Splunk is used to monitor and search through large amount of data. It indexes and connects information in a searchable container and generates alerts, reports, and virtualizations. Then they were introduced to vulnerability management maturity model from SANS with their five phases and five levels. Interns also learned about the 7 phases of vulnerability assessment framework, which is engagement planning, threat modeling, discovery, vulnerability scanning, validation, remediation, and reporting. For business etiquette tasks, they must write a professional email to the manager requesting his time for the decision on tactics to develop the team. This email should be specific in asking for his availability as well as outlining the meeting agenda in bullet points so that the manager may see the email and anticipate what the meeting is about, and also have to send a calendar invite for the meeting, which the manager can have it rescheduled if he is unavailable at the time interns have scheduled it. So now for the network visibility task, we want the interns to post about what they learned in week 2 on LinkedIn and Twitter. Also, we want interns to connect with their peers interns by sending them a connection in LinkedIn. Also, by using a personalized invite to connect with people in LinkedIn. So now we'll know more about the current week. Over to you, Victor.
Thank you very much, Karthik and Mallory. Really appreciate it. So, as Karthik mentioned, we have gone through week one, week two, where we started with cybersecurity foundations, which is really important as we have talked about during VTF Live week one, because before we learn how to do it and what to do it, we should really ask ourselves, why are we doing it? And that's a fundamental question, actually, really distinguish you from rookie to a professional. So if you are joining a company and as you look at the security posture, you look at the security program, drop some questions about why are we doing it instead of what and how. Try not to jump on what and how, and that's where the difference and transition from student life to professional life. A lot of times that we have seen our interns coming from student life, they really jump on what to do it. They're really excited about learning the technical skills, which is great. We want you to learn that. We also want you to learn about the professional etiquettes and business etiquettes and also the professionalism that comes along with being successful. And we want you to be successful. So each week, you have tasks for cybersecurity, which are highly technical. You have etiquettes tasks, which are related to day to day in a professional life. And finally, you also learn about how to really amplify your personal branding, which is important in these day and age where how are people finding you on social media, professional social media, not about Snapchat and Instagram, but really how do they actually come in and look at your experience, look at your recent post, what are your opinions about certain cybersecurity information, insight going on, and the trends. So this week in week three, you start with open source intelligence, OSINT. This was, by the way, not a thing in cybersecurity because this is still treated as something that people either learn by going through some sort of training or not, or you don't know it. But if you come from a traditional background of IT, you tend to miss this step in cybersecurity. And we really want you to actually go in and understand what is open source intelligence without having to tick off any of the information, without doing some sort of really, I would say, penetration testing. You start for any sort of information for a company, you pick up whatever is available on the public domain. This really helps you to realize what's out there for you as well. What information have you posted on a blog or some sort of website that you didn't realize and it's there? So, this exercise really helps you to actually secure your company, your enterprise, your organization, and yourself as well. Because now, next time, you're really going to understand what information are you posting, how it's being utilized, and how people can access it. I'll give you a good example. A lot of time people have when they register their companies in California, they don't realize the address they're putting to registration. It is a public information. Now imagine a business owner when they're setting up their company, they put their home address. Well, it's public information. Now people know where you live. And that might be acceptable. But again, this is open source intelligence. You should do it actually when you go for a company interview. You should really learn about the company, you should learn about the enterprise using open source intelligence. Another good example I have seen is People try to actually learn a lot about the company culture by using open source intelligence. Again, this is not invasive tools or techniques. This is all available on internet. So please don't take this as invasive and don't use any invasive solutions or tools or techniques that will invade anybody's privacy. Don't do that. That's not part of the open source intelligence OSINT idea. So using OSINT, you really understand how to leverage publicly available information to understand either the threats facing and posing your company or how to gain an advantage over. It could be as simple as you're trying to get into a company, it could be as simple as that you're trying to learn more about yourself, what's out there, or it could be someone that you're trying to protect and you want to know what are the threats, what are the information out there already. So once again, this is really fundamental, and this was one course, or this is one area that you don't get hands on right away when you go from entry level positions in cybersecurity. People are not asking you to go and do OSINT for their company, but the idea of virtually testing internship is where you get to learn all the different domains of cybersecurity, so you can really make up your mind which way you want to go. What people learn in 5 to 10 years, you'd really get that hands-on experience in 10 weeks at Virtue Testing Foundation. Now, let's talk about what is open source intelligence. What exactly does that entail? So metadata, that's a definition of data about data. And that could be as simple as your public records, your individual records, your company records, emails. A lot of employees put their company emails on different forums that is out there that can be used by adversaries. So metadata, again, all of this is public information that you're trying to find it, you're trying to connect it. Pictures, a lot of people post their company pictures, and it could be simple as that they're standing right in front of your vault that you save all the money. Well, that's not ideal, but hey, using those pictures, an adversary really can map out where your vault is in the company. Imagine a bank staffer standing right in front of where they lock or leave the company or bank's money, and they post a selfie and they're like, "Look, day one, I'm really excited to be at this bank." Well, that's not good, right? So, as a cybersecurity professional, as a defender, you would want to make sure that you know about those threats, you know about those vectors that could be exploited against that company. Well, code search, wireless networking. There is so much in open source intelligence that you can go, but at the end of the day, you want to ask the question, why are you doing it? What is the intent that you're trying to achieve? So ask the question why. And this is again one area that you can really shine when you join a company. Maybe your peers have not thought about open source intelligence against your company, against your enterprise, and you can really help them. You can actually do a proactive open source intelligence OSINT for the company and reach out to your manager and say, hey, look, I found about these 4 things. It's out there on internet about us, about our company. Should we do anything about it? And a lot of times, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Once it's past the internet, it's there. But now you need to put compensating controls around it. You need to work with your maybe physical security. You need to work with your HR that, hey, employees should not be posting selfies right in front of the bank vault. That usually never happens. I've not seen it personally, but again, you get the point. Shodan, I think that's something I personally have been using it a lot lately. And it's one search engine. Think of Google of all the connected devices. So on Google, you can find people, you can find information, you can find products. At Shodan, you can find devices. A lot of times during our internship at Virtue Testing Foundation, our red team asked me that, is there a server I can just try? It's out there. It has port open, certain ports open. How do I find this vulnerability is available on this one device? Well, a lot of times you may have to set up all of that, or you can just go look on Shodan. There is a premium one, Shodan, but free version does a pretty good job. You can search. So a lot of times, what I do for my enterprise and for my own home, I put my public IP and see what's open, what's serving. That simple. It really helps us to realize that the services that shouldn't be open, it's open. I'll give you a good example. One of my good friend, actually, security professional, he likes to play video games. So what he did, he poked a hole in his router, and he was playing video games through internet, so that he doesn't have to actually go through a VPN or something. Well, that was all good and well. One day he realized he put his IP on Shodan. It's serving like 18 different services, and some of them were actually vulnerable, and people can exploit it. Well, that's bad. Now multiply that by $1 billion, where your company can lose $1 billion, and you, cybersecurity professional, didn't think it through. You know how to configure a firewall. You know how to open the ports. So as a cybersecurity professional, you did it, but you didn't ask the question why. You didn't do the due diligence. So once again, as part of OSINT, as part of learning of this, you can really go in and learn about OSINT. And the one place you can really start inexpensive, almost free, is Shodan. So as their slogan, search engine for the internet of everything. So once again, I highly recommend, if you have not looked at Shodan, go look at it. Search for top ports. Could be as simple as RDP. Look at the computers which have internet exposing RDP open. I mean, how bad is that? But at the same time, if you don't know the problem, you can find a solution. So Shodan is one way for you to go in and look at it. Highly recommended. It's part of OSINT exercises where VTF beginner interns are going to go and learn it and take advantage of that learning. So during this internship, we really want to hone on the part that this is not a typical training. VTF is not providing you a training where it's a classroom style, you come in, take notes, and go home. No, we want to actually monetize what you already learned. So during the selection process at VTF, we go through certain areas, and we evaluate you based on your skills, based on your knowledge, based on your behavior. So there's a whole pattern. We want to test and give you the hands-on what you've already learned. So during this week, week 3, you learned about OSINT. We gave you all the resources, and if you've not looked at it, you can go to vtf.academy. All the curriculum is open source, openly available to you as well. Even though if you're not an intern at VTF, you still can access it. But for interns, they have to go in and go through these try hack me room this week and test their knowledge, what they learned about OSINT. A lot of times we have seen student life really trains you to just learn and have that academic testing. But this is where kind of student life meets the professional life, and VTF is the bridge that gaps. So in this week, you go in and learn about OSINT at Try Hack Me and test your knowledge. Not only that, you also understand how others are doing. So you can see that with your peers at VTF, you get to talk to them that, hey, how were you able to find out that answer? I learned about OSINT, but I was still not convinced how to do it. So once again, every week, VTF interns are not only putting their training and learning and applying that to hands-on experience, they also understand the team building exercise. And that's the whole point, like being in this world where these days everybody is remote and we're spread out around the globe. You need to learn how to work in teams remotely, virtually. And going through these kind of internships really help you to understand that it's not just about getting a simple task or something repeatable and you getting it done. Getting unique tasks and working together as a team and completing that is the goal nowadays. So when you're choosing for your internship, your first step into professional life, make sure you really catalog what you're gaining out of this internship. A lot of times we have seen candidates They don't want to apply for such internships because they're like, there's no money, there's no stipend. And on the other side of the spectrum, we have also heard testimonials where they're like, there is no way a money could have bought me this experience that we got from VTF. So you really need to understand it. You really need to weigh, do you prefer a short term win with whatever that stipend or money looks like, or you want a world class hands on experience that can really set you up for success? As Karthik and Mallory mentioned, each week our interns are not only learning and putting their skills about cybersecurity into practice, they also learn about business etiquettes. We started with APA guidelines, then we started with how to write and invite someone using calendar. These are basic skills, these are fundamentals, but yet they're not technical, they're not cybersecurity, but expected in a professional world. This week, we talk about how to avoid overcommitment. Now, this may sound something that's obvious to you. This may sound non technical, and yet it's very important to be successful in a job. I'll give you an example. You join a company and you're really highly technical, people are really excited to have you, and you are really passionate about the company, what they're doing, their mission, their vision. Great, everything is perfect. Week one, your manager calls you and they're like, here are the 10 tasks you need to do it, and we need to be delivered by Friday. You're like, perfect, I'm on it. By Thursday, you realize it was too much. You should have actually gone back to your manager and analyzed those tasks. You shouldn't have committed to completing the task to begin with. So this week, our interns are learning when a task is given to you, the first question you want to ask is by when it's due. So you know exactly when by when you have to deliver it. Second, what are the resources assigned to this task as well? It could be your different team members are assigned. It could be as simple as a contractor or third party vendor is assigned to that task as well. So there's a dependency. And finally, how to actually go in and break into chunks. No matter how small that task is, you can still break into chunks. No matter how big that task is, you can still break into chunks so that you make a game plan how to complete that task and show progress. So when you break that task into chunks, you can really update your manager that progress about that task. How is it going? How far have you come along? The percentage, it's easy to track once it's in chunks. If I have a task, I break into four chunks and I complete one chunk, I know exactly I've completed 25%. Simple. However, if I am by the timeline, if 70% of the timeline is completed, I have not completed 25% of the task, I know I have overcommitted. Another example, a lot of time, we have seen that candidates or people are picking up more jobs, obviously, to support their family or lifestyle. They need more money. So they're not providing quality work to anyone. So instead, what they're going through is they're giving bare minimum or even less than bare minimum to each client. Instead, what we recommend is take a step back, work with your one client, tell them this is what you can accomplish, this is what you can provide, this is what you can do, and ask for the right money that you need to support it as long as it matches with the skill set and delivery of your product or service. At the end of the day, our goal is for you to really learn not to commit to something that you cannot deliver. So this week, our interns are really learning about this business etiquette, how to avoid overcommitment. And there are resources that we have given them to really read, watch, and understand that there is a task that they have to go through. So again, if you are interested in learning what they are going through, you can go to vtf.academy and look at the curriculum. Network visibility, we cannot stress enough how important that is these days because without that, we're just alone in one area. All the connections you have built, all the visibility, all the knowledge, if people cannot really testify or verify, it's very tough in these days. I know 20 years ago it used to be you write a resume, cover letter, and send it to a company, and they'll set up an interview. These days, it's kind of opposite, what I've seen at least. These days, based on your LinkedIn profile, what you're posting, your education, your certification, your network peer. So let's say if you know these three people from this company, and the hiring manager actually using LinkedIn, Sales Navigator, or other tools, they are looking for some sort of skill set, and your profile popped up, and they already know these three people from the company, they're going to choose you over a random resume they have received. Again, it's not 100% true. Obviously, there are exceptions. There are ways that companies are dealing with it. But what the point we're trying to make for our interns is make sure your LinkedIn, Twitter profile are up to date, because those are the two professional social media profiles you're going to need. Twitter is to get the latest and greatest cybersecurity news, and LinkedIn is to really prove what you've learned and have a kind of living, live, online resume where anyone can go in and look at it. So network visibility is really important. So each week, what our interns are learning, they're also posting it. They're posting their opinions about what they've learned, their hands-on skills. It's really important because now not only they learn, they're also getting exposure. They're also connecting with other peers in the same industry. Maybe someone who knows better about that topic might reach out and say, hey, let's collaborate. There might be opportunity they've never explored, never thought of. They can now go in and get those opportunities and be successful. Well, that's all the folks we have time. Thank you very much for listening to us. Thank you, Mallory, Karthik. And once again, if you want to get access to the curriculum that VTF interns are going through, you can go to vtf.academy. For any new opportunities, new positions at VTF, we'll be posting on social media and over our website. So thank you very much for your time today.
All right, thank you, everyone. We look forward to seeing you at our next VTF live. Thank you again, Karthik and Victor. All this information has been very insightful, and I hope that every one of you watching this can share this video and just pass it along and see if you guys are, interested in following. Just like Victor said, through VTF dot Academy, and you'll be able to see all the curriculum that the beginner track interns are doing. So we're happy to share that information with you guys, and hopefully we'll be able to hear some great feedback from you guys. All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Karthik. Thank you, Victor. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful evening, wherever time zone you're in, and we hope to see you at our next segment of VTF Live next week. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, guys.